Well, hello, viewers, and welcome to episode 3 of Dan in Paris, my attempt to become French in just 12 months. In this episode, I'm going to share 3 things with you. The first is my first ever White Christmas. The second is that I find myself now stuck in France, more on that later. And thirdly, because people keep asking, an update on how I'm going learning the French language. What progress am I making? I'll start with Christmas. We were very fortunate mid-December, even before Christmas came round, to be invited by my cousin Marie-Laure to go and stay with them in the Alsace region. This is, if you're not familiar with it, in the northeast of France. You might know towns like Strasbourg. They live in a smaller town nearby called Haguenau. This is French-German border, known for Riesling. Just a really beautiful and interesting part of France, which I have been to a number of times before, and I really love it. I think the highlight of the trip was we were taken to 2 sets of Christmas markets, the first in Strasbourg, and I think it's still the biggest in Europe. So there was tourists everywhere, as you can imagine, and we really enjoyed it. It's quite spectacular. We also, on our second night, went to a smaller town called Aubenay, and this felt a bit more maybe what Christmas markets were like before they became quite so popular. It's a medieval town, felt quite authentic. Ultimately, at these things, you walk, you buy food, you drink mulled wine because it's cold, and you just enjoy the setting. There's lights, there's always a Christmas tree, and lots of exhibits. All in all, we had a wonderful weekend. We returned to Paris, and then on Christmas Eve, we were also invited to spend it with one of my cousins, Renaud. He lives in Bourgogne. We took a train there, arrived in the afternoon of Christmas Eve, and can you believe it, as though on cue that evening, Christmas Eve, it started snowing for the first time this winter, which we had a magical evening and woke to quite an extraordinary scene of snow-covered landscapes, which was really beautiful. We then went on to my father's hometown in the east of France. This is really more of a village called Domprecha. En route, we collected my youngest son, Henry, from Besançon. And it was really, really, lovely to arrive in Domprecha and go straight to see my aunt, Lorette. My father there were 7 brothers and sisters. Very sadly, they've all passed now, with the exception of Lorette, who is 96 and truly an inspiration to everyone that meets her. She still lives on a 2-floor walk-up apartment, living independently and showing no signs of slowing down. We spent the next couple of days with family, cousins. I think there were 18 of us all in one room at one table. These are long days spent eating, drinking, and chatting as only the French can do, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. And the snow was just a really nice bonus. We also took some beautiful walks in the region, which is mountainous, or as my wife describes it, hilly. But we both agree it's spectacular, right on the border with Switzerland. So that was my very first White Christmas. The next bit of news that I wanted to share with you is that I've decided to stay stuck in France for now. So just explain very simply, I have the right to live here. That's fine. I'm the spouse of an EU citizen, and as soon as I got here, I applied for residency, or in French, for my carte de séjour, and it's being processed. They have everything they need, but until it's issued, I just prefer not to tempt fate by leaving France and potentially having a problem when I re-enter the country because the application hasn't actually been finalised yet. It's a pity, as we had some really cool overseas trips coming up, which I'd really like to take, but they're on hold for now. So hopefully this is done very soon. I remain optimistic, despite everyone telling me I shouldn't be, because here in France the process can be very slow and take many, many months. The third thing I wanted to update you on is my progress in learning the French language. So When I arrived here, I did about 6 weeks of classes at a private language school. These were 2 hours a day. I shared updates in my last video. But this last month, I actually took a break and I've been doing my own revision with a lot of help from my wife, who sets me daily exercises. And so far, we haven't killed each other and we remain, thankfully, very happily married. But I don't want to push our luck too far. So from next month, I'm going to start what are called sort of intensif, 4 hours per day of classes every day at the renowned Alliance Française. Let's see how I go doing that for a month. I did have to be graded by a teacher at the Alliance Française, and I spent an hour doing various exercises. They graded me, for those that are interested, as an A2-2. I think it's an A2-1 and an A2-2. Then, of course, B1, etc. I'm aiming to get to B2 by the end of 12 months. And they called my spoken French survivor French, which in short they said means you can be understood, but many students at a similar level to you will have much better grammar and pronunciation. And that sounds about right to me. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed seeing France in winter. Till next time, à bientôt and au revoir. Till next month.